You don't start the year thinking you're the weakest in your class. You tell yourself you're just a late bloomer. Then the first day hits. Roll call is explosions, car lifters, casual ice storms, and you, sweaty hands, a notebook praying things isn't public rankings, with no idea that one day you'll be the strongest in the room and still struggle to open a bottle without pain. In a normal school, being the weakest hurts your pride. In a hero class, it breaks your bones. Your world worships strength the way some worlds worship gods. Power isn't just cool here, it's currency. There are celebrities and then there are heroes. People whose job description is walk into disasters and make physics cry. At the top of the pyramid sits the school. Imagine if Harvard, the NBA, and the Avengers were all the same institution, and your homeroom teacher used to be on the front page of every newspaper. This is where kids like you are supposed to prove you belong. Tests aren't just written, they're combat, rescue, survival. Group work means hope your partner doesn't accidentally vaporize you while showing off. Your classroom is a ranking board with desks. Every lesson is an audition. Every sparring match is a performance review. And in the middle of all that potential, pressure, and explosive talent, you're the one kid who shows up without the one thing this world actually cares about. This world has a brutal way of making sure you find out where you stand. When you're 4 years old, you don't know you're weak. You just know you like heroes. You stand way too close to the TV, copying poses, shouting attack names with a plastic toy in your hand. Your mom laughs, ruffles your hair, tells you your quirk will show up any day now. It happens for them, one by one. A girl makes things float. A boy's hands start popping like fireworks. Show and tell turns into show and scare your classmates. Then it's your turn. The flip from daydream to reality dumps you in a doctor's office instead of a hero origin scene. You go to the doctor expecting a fun story to tell your friends. Instead, you get an x-ray, a sigh, and a sentence that rearranges your whole life. You're not going to develop a quirk. The ride home is quiet. Your mom smiles too much. You stare at your hands like they betrayed you, like they forgot to turn something on. Next day at school, everyone's trading stories about their powers. You're holding your notebook, laughing along, hoping no one asks, "So, what can you do?" Because now you know the answer. And in a world like this, nothing isn't neutral. It's a diagnosis with no cure rate. By the time you hit middle school, the diagnosis has a seating arrangement. You're the quirkless kid in the back, the one teachers talk about, instead of two when they say things like, "Remember, everyone has a role in hero society." But every chart and career video says the same thing. No quirk, no hero. One day your teacher hands out a form. Write down your future plans. He says, be realistic. Desk starts scratching. Pro hero, sidekick, rescue specialist. Your paper stays blank so long it starts to feel like a personality test you're failing live. Eventually you write it anyway. Hero. The class laughs. Your teacher doesn't. He just looks at your paper like it's a bad joke that went on for too long. After school, you climb up to a rooftop with the one question that's been eating you alive. Can someone like you ever be a hero? And the answer hits harder than any punch. No, you can't. You thought being the weakest means you were behind. Turns out, it means the world thinks you shouldn't even be on track. The universe should fade to credits there. Instead, you get hit by a different kind of disaster. And for once, you run toward it. You don't think. You just move. 1 second, you're the quirkless nobody on the sidelines. The next, you're sprinting at a monster made of teeth and sewage to save someone who actually matters. It should get you killed. Instead, it gets you noticed. The same symbol of peace who told you no watches you shake, cry, and still jump anyway, and realizes he might have been wrong, so he offers you a miracle, a power that can turn you from weakest in class to strongest on the field. Catch is, your body was built for taking notes, not channeling a small nuclear event. You don't get a gentle training arc, you get a part-time job at a garage beach where the trash fights back, lifting refrigerators, hauling broken machines, sprinting until your lungs feel like sandpaper. Every day is leg day, and every night is, please don't forget my arms fall off in my sleep. Somewhere between rusted washing machines and overturned cars, you realize something. Your body isn't a vessel for your dream. It's the tuition you're paying to chase. Then comes the initial ritual. Eat this hair. Congratulations. Your scholarship to greatness starts with swallowing someone else's DNA and hoping your heart doesn't explode. Being the weakest used to mean failing quietly. Now it means you're one bad workout away from permanent organ damage. Months of turning your body into a full-time garbage disposal later, you reach the big test, the day your teachers decide if all the pain was worth anything. You show up surrounded by kids who look born for this, engines in their legs, dynamite in their palms. You have a brand new power that feels like a live wire stapled to your bones, and a very loose understanding of the word control. The test starts. Robots everywhere. Everyone sprints forward like they've been waiting their whole life for this. You freeze. Then someone screams for help, and your body makes the same bad decision it always does. You jump. One punch. One beautiful, stupid, all-in punch. You save someone. You turn your arm into modern art of bruises. The scoreboard gives you top marks. The nurse gives you a sling, 3 new prescriptions, and a look that says, "You again?" From that day on, everyone in class knows exactly what your power can do, and exactly what it does to you. Class isn't just class anymore. It's comparison hell. Roll call feels like a highlight reel every morning. One kid controls half the elements, another can harden his skin like steel. Someone turns their entire body into a walking sound system. When they get to you, nobody needs an introduction. You're already the guy who broke his arm punching one robot. Then comes the routine assessments. Your teacher smiles, says it's just to track your progress, which is code for publicly rank you and see who cracks first. Sprint, jump, throw the ball. Everyone else nudges their quirks a little. You either hold back and look pathetic or go all in and wake up in the nurse's office again. Recovery girl starts recognizing you on sight. She doesn't ask what happened. She asks, how many fractures this time? That's where the social bill starts coming due. Classmates still cheer when you win, but they stop picking you for team exercises. No one wants to stand next to a human landmine. Teachers call you brave in public and reckless when they think you can't hear. You're not a partner. You're a risk management program with great PR. They tell you you're inspiring. They tell you your heart is incredible. They say things like, you're proof effort can beat natural talent. Funny thing is, effort doesn't beat talent. It just lets you stand next to it long enough to get injured the same amount. In a normal school, trying your best gets you a pat on the back. Here, it gets you another entry in your medical history and a new nickname. The guy who treats his bones like disposable cutlery. Then comes the real-world existence. Internships, work studies, patrols with pros whose posters used to cover your wall. At first you think this is your chance to finally prove you're not the weak one anymore. Then you notice how they use you. When the pros brief the team, they don't say your name. They say things like, don't push harder than Midoriya did last time. Or, if even he's still standing, we're fine. You're not the benchmark for greatness. You're the, if this guy's okay, we're chilling line on the disaster thermometer. Villains figure it out too. They hit you first just to gauge how serious this is. If you go down quickly, everyone gets nervous. If you're still dragging yourself upright, they smirk. You're the free trial before the real fight. Your classmates don't mean to be cruel. They just start orbiting around you like you're part of the grading criteria. If they beat your performance, they feel safe. If they fall below you, they panic. You're not another hero in training. You're the pop-up on everyone's mental report card labeled bare minimum to not suck. The media loves that. Every set of bandages is just fresh B-roll. For another, never give up montage. Agencies love it, too. Every time you stagger out of a fight in one piece, they call it resilience branding and relatable hero optics. But no one asks if you actually want to be relatable. They just need you to keep snapping bones on camera. So the slogan hits harder. You started out wanting to stop being the weakest in your class. Somewhere along the way, the world decided it needed you to stay that way, so everyone else could feel strong. And that is why it sucks to be the weakest in your class. Not because you stay there forever, but because every step you climb out of that hole, it's paid for in pieces of yourself that you don't get back. Everyone else sees the costume, the smile, the headlines. They see the kid who proved effort can beat talent. You see x-rays, medical bills, and a life built on the idea that if it doesn't hurt, you're not trying hard enough. In a normal school, being the weakest hurts your pride. In a hero class, it rewrites your entire body just to prove you belong. You can flatten a building with one punch and still need help opening a bottle. And if you think being the weakest in class is bad, wait until you're the last survivor of your clan.